Even the PS Portal is getting more expensive. And I think like less than 10% of people that have a PS5 have a Portal. They still gonna raise the price, drop the user base even more. This article is insane that they posted. What does it say? We now know that price changes impact our community, and after careful evaluation, I wonder what that was. They just asked each other, "Hey, you want more money? Hey, do you want more money?" Sure. What is up, everybody? We're back, and we got a hell of a haul this time. I just realized that GameStop actually ran 4 for 20 and 4 for 40 deals for the week, so I had to get back out there. I know the warm weather just started, but I think we're in mid-season form already. I got some good ones. With all the news about how video games are going to be getting more expensive with the PS5 announcement of another price increase, and this is astonishing. We've never, it's totally unprecedented. Gaming has never gotten more expensive, especially this far into the generation. They're already talking about the PS6, and they're raising the price on the PS5. And I might be testing the temperature of the water to see how much they can actually charge for the PS6, but it's going to be jaw dropping. It's going to totally price out mid to low level consumers. So that just means that the older consoles, they're going to have to keep going. They're going to have to keep making games for old consoles because that's all people are going to have. People are not going to buy the new stuff if it's this expensive. So, of course, with all that happening and everything getting more expensive all around us, I thought it was a good time to run to GameStop to try to get some games for cheap. And we got a nice bundle here. And this is just me, but it's a little weird that GameStop only puts 3 games for a buy 4 get sale. It might be just an oversight, but I just thought it was funny. But yeah, this PS5 news is all everyone's talking about right now. They posted it here on their PS blog that April 2nd, the price is going to increase dramatically for PS5 and PS5 Pro. I think the PS5 Pro is going to be like $900. That's staggering. $900 digital. So for you to get the physical, you're talking about over $1,000. Boy, that escalated quickly. And I know there's a lot of reasons, but most of it is probably having to pay shareholders. Pay the money! But they're talking about how AI are buying up so much of the infrastructure, and they're not even going to use it, which is more frustrating. I think this is a lot of because they think we're going to use this AI so far in the future, but Sony's not going to drop their price even if that's not the case. But $900 for the PS5 Pro is outrageous, and that just gives the green light for everyone to raise their prices. Even the PS Portal is getting more expensive, and I think like less than 10% of people that have a PS5 have a Portal. They still going to raise the price, drop the user base even more. This article is insane that they posted. What does it say? We now know that price changes impact our community, and after careful evaluation, I wonder what that was. They just asked each other, "Hey, you want more money? Hey, do you want more money?" Sure. But yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. Wait till it's a completely digital future and there are no physical games and they can charge us whatever they want, whenever they want. Saying it out loud is crazy, but this might just kill the gaming culture as we know it. It'll evolve into something else, but it'll not be what we remember. So I thought it was a good time to zig while everyone is zagging. While everything's going up, I'm going down. So let me show you guys some of the cheap games that I got. All right, so let's go from new to old. Well, this is a new one of an old one. We're going to start with Semshu 1 and 2. Now, I remember playing this on the Dreamcast. I think this is like one of the first games I ever played on the Dreamcast. It was this and like Power Stones, and I think it was 2K back then. But that's pretty much the only 2 games that I played officially. I remember I had a boot up disc that would put like a deer or something, and that's how you'd play fake games on the Dreamcast. But I remember this game being super nostalgic for this game. I think this is like the first video game you can play a video game in. So this was a cutting edge back then. Semshu 1 on the Dreamcast is still pretty expensive. So to get 1 and 2 here for $10, I'll do that all day. Especially with such an iconic series like this. And Sega put their heart and soul into this one because this was the last console Sega made. And this was their flagship game on that console. Yeah, this is a funny one to get. But I'm glad to have it. There. Next, I picked up Spirit of the North. This is a game I've heard going around the circles that it is pretty. Let's see what it looks like. It is a pretty interesting game. Not one that I see super often. And I'm playing that game on PlayStation right now, and it just kind of reminded me of it with the two souls, the dead soul and the live soul with the husband and wife. It's kind of the same thing. So this kind of reminded me of it. Reminds me a little bit of that and maybe a little bit of Okami. But I found it interesting. Now we need another game to put into the deal. This is one that I do not see very often. And the other animal game that I played, Stray, I liked a lot. So I'm hoping this one is as entertaining as that. This is one I'll put in the collection. Next we have an old school banger, House of the Dead 2 and 3 Returns. Now I don't specifically remember House of the Dead 3, but House of the Dead 1 and 2, those were arcade staples. Comes a little bare bones, no manual, but let's check out the disc, which is, that's beautiful. I'm always worried about getting these old gen games and them just not being in good enough condition to play. Happened to me with the Mario Superstar. The game looked fine, had a couple scratches, but then you pop it in, you get to about the beginning of the match, and it just goes blank. So getting these in good conditions is pretty important. Always check games before you leave GameStop. If they're scratched up, it's not worth taking it because it may not work. Or you could, go home and actually test it, but then you're gonna have to go back if it doesn't work. But yeah, this is so nostalgic. I literally remember dying at this scene so much. And I think this was the first, I would get up to this guy too. This was like the first boss you would get to. It would cost you like $10. To have both games here for $10, this is one I'm definitely going to be popping in soon. I never got through it in the arcade. So this is one I'm absolutely looking to complete. I wonder if I think I do have, yeah, you need this attachment for sure. But I'm pretty sure I do have that. And this is what I'm going to be very proud to finish. Might have to throw this one in tonight. Awesome to have that one. Next we have another fantastic franchise, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is always the one you want to get. I cannot stress enough that this is the version that you want to get with the rest, with a bunch of unique characters on it, especially with you not being able to get these from the store anymore, from the online store. I'm not sure if you can or can't anymore, but it's just a good idea to get them now and have them all on a disc and not have to worry about that. But I think these are actually dropping. This one used to be pretty expensive, so getting it for $5 right now is a fantastic deal. I'll get it every time. I know that the Capcom collection sort of tanked the value of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on like PlayStation and Xbox. For $5 for such a good game, especially with all the characters, this is an easy grab every single time. Let's put this one over here. Next we have Apache Air Assault. Now this is one that I do not see very often. I don't think it's a particularly expensive game. It's made by Activision, so it does have a good studio behind it. And I believe, yes, that it comes nice and complete. This is giving me some major Black Hawk Down vibes. That might have been what inspired this game. This looks like a helicopter fighter. It's a helicopter game, probably flying around, shooting stuff. This is one I definitely did not have in my collection. Going around completing missions in an old school helicopter like this is probably pretty cool. One that I don't hear too much about. So I guess I'm just gonna have to try out this one and see what I think myself. Over here. Next we have one that I just had to grab when I saw it. Vin Diesel's Wheelman. I mean, come on. A midway Ubisoft game, how bad can this game really be? It's nice and complete. Nice map and everything in here. Let's check out the disc. Yep, it's probably looks like it's never been played. So I'll take that. It's pretty cool. Again, not a game that I think is super valuable, but it's just cool. Reminds me of a 50 Cent Blood in the Sandwater games. And that game is pretty good. So if this game is anything like that, this is great value for $5. This probably came out when Vin Diesel was at the height of his powers. He was such a good action movie star. Probably figured make an action game out of him too. But I don't know. This one looks pretty good. It seems like it's open world, shooting and driving as Vin Diesel. Now this one is definitely piquing my interest. Like the video game version of Fast and the Furious. I don't know. This one seems pretty cool. I don't hear too much about that one, but I might have to pop that one in soon. Never played that game, but I played a ton of this one. Here we have Tony Hawk's Underground. What a classic. I think this might be the Tony Hawk game that I played the most. Looks like somebody already grinded on this one. Yeah, this and part 3 for the PS1 is. I know, I think I played this one more. I played this game so much. It was so good. Yeah, this is throwback. This came out in '03. Wow. This is definitely a big nostalgia hit. The physics were so good. I think that Skate came out a little bit after this, so this was like when Tony Hawk really had a firm grip on the skateboarding video game genre. And for good reason. These were really, really fun games. I was really glad to get the Platinum Ticket. This is the best version of that game. So this is one when I saw I had to grab. The missions were great. The characters were funny. This was peak skateboarding video game right here. Really glad to have grabbed that one for $5. And last but not least, we have a game that I don't see very often at all. This one is 13. Now this looks like a cel-shaded shooter. Comes nice and complete. Everything in there. I think I have seen this game spoken about a few times, but I'm not sure if it's even on any other consoles. It doesn't say exclusive, but this is one that probably works pretty good even on old hardware. Cel-shaded like this, it's a little more forgiving. Confront your shadowy past and America's darkest corridors of power. Getting political and everything. Again, this one was '03 as well. And someone said it was a good game. But this one looks interesting. As long as you can run in this shooter, because that's what I have a gripe with some of these old Xbox games, even in Halo, you can't run. So if you could, boogie in this one, make some quick, twitchy movements, this might be an actual good game. It seems like they're using a couple different guns. There's a sniper, looks like a shotgun. I guess they got a battle royale feature. This one looks pretty cool. So it's definitely a good visit to GameStop to get these games that I do not have in my collection. And that are pretty interesting. I think I might start with House of the Dead. It's probably going to be the first one that I play. But this one, I might have to move up my backlog a bit. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you like this kind of content, you can definitely go ahead and subscribe because a lot of what we do around here is find games for cheap. And if you guys want to see what I'm picking up and where I'm picking it up, you can go ahead and join. We'll love to have you. Another great deal for these guys. I ended up paying, what, 50, 58 total for these games. I'm mostly leaning killer, not filler. All games that I do actually want to play. This was a good visit. Even at conventions, I'm not going to find these games for $5. Now the GameStop ran this 2 weeks in a row, and it might be a while before we see this again. And convention season is coming up, so I'm going to really keep an eye on to see if I can find these kind of quality games for $5. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am way too old for this. Peace.